Ideas without action are not ideas. They are regrets. Every day, we let hesitation, or the fear of failure, or the fear of what other people might think stop us from acting on our ideas. We know that we can never win if we never begin. We know that if we take easy choices, we will have a hard life. We know that what comes easy never lasts long. We know that bad habits are easy to form but hard to live with. All the time we pretend to be waiting for the conditions to be perfect to start, but all we end up doing is regretting our past and fearing for our future. We are suffering more in our imagination than in reality, but we try our best to hide it, especially from our friends or loved ones. We hide behind different masks: a mask for work, a mask for family, a mask for social media. Then after many years of living someone else's life, we cannot really say anymore which one is truly us. We are only trying to enhance our lives. No doubt, we all want to have more choices in life. However, the first step in achieving what we dream of is to conquer ourselves. And to conquer ourselves, we must face our fears. Successful people also have fears, also have doubts, also have worries. They do not let these feelings stop them. On the contrary, they try to understand the things they fear better, because the more they understand it, the more competence and confidence they build around it. While we allow fear to impose its will on us, successful people impose their will on fear and use its power for more motivation. Indeed, a child who has learned to read will no longer be afraid of books. In this video, we talk about 3 ways to help you use the power of your fear for more motivation. Fear is one of our most powerful basic human instincts. Fear has been very kind to us in all of our human evolution. Without fear, mankind would have not survived for this long. Our ancestors would have been jumping from mountain tops and playing with poisonous snakes and lions. The purpose of fear still continues to be to promote survival, but only those who fear the right things, not the wrong things, will continue to proliferate. Fear is very old, but it is far from being outdated and has remained almost 100% untouched by the nuances of modern civilization. The forms of danger may have changed since the Stone Age. However, we are all in as much danger today as back then. And guess what? Some of us have become our worst enemies. Fear has mutated into other forms. It is no longer just the fear of snakes or spiders. Now we have also the fear of failure, the fear of taking action, the fear of what other people think about us, and even the fear of success. Actually, the fear we experience today is caused by bad management of our own mental faculties and has nothing to do with the original impulsive fear that kept our ancestors alive. Fear is not evil. Fear is not the enemy. It is what we do about it. It is like another of our basic instincts: hunger. Hunger is not bad. It is what and how much we decide to eat that could be bad or good. The first way to use fear for motivation is to focus on the solution and what we gain by taking that action, rather than what we could lose. We must learn to see fear as a gain. However, fear never really disappears, and in the face of any new challenge, expect fear to return in at least one or all 3 of its incarnations. The first incarnation of fear is the fear of losing. The fear of losing your face, your reputation. The fear of losing the predictability of your current lifestyle. The fear of losing some friends. To fight back, you should think about what you could gain. New friends, new, better and active lifestyle, new opportunities. The second incarnation of fear is the fear of change. The uncertainties in your life that all these new actions will bring. We are very afraid of what we do not know, and fear knows this. The third incarnation of fear is the fear of the outcome. What if it does not work after all the efforts? What if it does not get better? Yes, fighting fear will be daily business, especially at the beginning. And to use it for motivation, it is important to never focus on the possible negative outcomes, but on what we most likely will gain. This does imply that we must be prepared to embrace and be at ease with our fears so that we can allow our intelligence and rationality to work better for us. In any case, we have to be sincere about the odds. Yes, we will not always win, but if we live too cautiously and do nothing, we might as well not have lived at all, in which case we fail by default. And by the way, how much is the rest of your life worth to you? The maths is simple. It will be worth nothing if you do nothing. The second way to use the power of fear for motivation is to put that fear against a much bigger fear. When we are faced with fear that is about to deprive us of progress, we should quickly ask ourselves, which fear should we really be more afraid of? Which fear is the worst fear? Which fear should we fear more? Is it the fear of what others might say? Or is it the fear of living a mediocre life? A life where we never achieve our potentials. A life we will only remember with regrets because we were afraid to do anything about it. Assuming we are sincere to ourselves, indeed we should fear more stagnation and the absence of progress. We should really fear letting down those we love, letting down ourselves. Yes, most of us really have the choice. Either let this stupid fear stop us, or we ignore it and get busy. The third way to use fear to motivate ourselves also motivates us to get things done as quickly and effectively as possible, and using the saved time to do other things also more quickly and effectively. The approach is to assume to live each day as if it were our last day. If we only had one day left, we would never want to waste it on trivialities or time-wasting activities. So before we give dues to vanity, we should ask ourselves the question, if today was the last day of our lives, would we do what we are about to do now? Almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment, all fear of failure will vanish, leaving what is truly important and avoiding the trap that you have something to lose. This way, we let fear make us brave. Certainly, it will be very foolish to take the advice, live each day like it's your last, at face value. The sense of urgency should not make you stressful. If you cannot handle it, this is not for you. It is a tool to help you eliminate wasteful activities from your life, so you do not waste your time living someone else's life. It is to ensure that most of the things we invest our time into are those where the rewards will be profound and very long term. It is to help us search for confidence to overcome the modern day fears, to use discomfort as a change motivator, to change ourselves and to live the life we dream. Every day we live, we must remember that we have responsibilities not only to ourselves, but also to others and to our future generation. We all have heard that the road of success is a lonely road, filled with opportunities, but on this road you will not see a lot of your friends. Do not let the fear of failure or the fear of what others might say stop you from acting on your ideas. We may need to start by trusting on our judgments and our instincts a little bit more. We certainly will not get it right all the time, but if we do nothing, we will always get it wrong. In summarizing, please never forget these two things. Remember that you should always be the master of your thoughts, never losing focus on what is important. The biggest fear you should have is to live a wasted life. You should do something against that. Try to understand the things you fear. The more you understand something, the less terrifying it becomes. No action breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not just think about it. Go out and get busy. The second thing you should remember is that it is what you do that defines you, not what you talk about. Your actions define who you are. So what actions are you taking today to bring you closer to those things you want to do? If you do not yet know what you want to do, start to look about for those things you are passionate about. As with all matters of the heart, you will know when you find it. If all you can do today is crawl, start crawling. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. There are two acronyms commonly associated with fear: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Whatever you decide to do, may it make you happy.